Welcome to This Week on Toledo Sports Network Sports Talk. I'm Mike Jameson. I got Brad Morrison here with me. Brad's going to be yapping with us here in a little bit. We're going heavy-duty summer junior basketball today, and we're going to be talking with Brad. We're also going to be talking with Dave McWinnie out at Toledo Christian about a great program that's going on there, and Brad's going to be up first. He's got we've got some kids that are going to be coming on, and Brad, you're doing a good job with these kids.
Thank you. It's a good group.
Yeah, you have a lot of fun. This guy loves basketball just about as much as I do, and he can still play. I'm just getting old and froggy now, but we got a great show for you, and we're also going to be taking you out to a project where Brad's real job is actually building brand new stadiums out of stadiums that needed to be brand new, and we got some great footage of what you're doing out at Clay High School and over at Whitmer, and it's going to be a good show, so stick around. Also, I was telling you, Brad Morrison here, I've known him for quite a long time, and trust me, I have the scars to prove it. And Brad and I have played in basketball, and you know, Brad, it's kind of funny. I hope the younger generation grabs the game like people like us have and still basically do. Heck, we come out here, you've got this beautiful facility, and we still play the game in our 40s and 50s here, but kudos out to you, man. I think you're doing a wonderful job, and this place that you have here, we talked about it last week with your wife, this is every man's dream, the pole barn from heaven. You did well here.
Well, it was kind of built around this floor, which is this is the floor that Chris Webber called the timeout on.
Oh, it is that floor.
Yes.
Okay.
And the kind of the sister group of the people that make our synthetic turf also make all the wood floors for the NCAA tournament every year. And I always told my buddy, when you get a floor that's ready to go and you're going to just throw it out, I'll take it and maybe I'll put a shell around it, and that's kind of what happened. So actually, when they redo the floor this fall, we've found the exact spot over there. They're going to do an engraved.
Oh my goodness!
They're going to do the picture of him calling the timeout. It's pretty neat. They're going to do it in bronze. It's going to be in the floor. So.
Well, I got to tell you, Brad is the biggest Michigan fan known to man, and of course I'm a Buckeye fan. So that just adds to when we get under the boards and start beating each other up. Now, of course, you played college basketball, and you, quite a good ball player. I just beat people up.
I think we were all legends in our own minds. That's where it needs to stop. No fact checking.
Okay. But what you've been able to do over the years is you've always been involved with sports. You've coached throughout the area, and what you've been able to put together here now is, okay, I've got a little bit of free time. And I'm going to take that free time now, and I'm going to put a junior basketball program together that's just going to knock the socks off people. And as we're talking here, I'm going to show you some of the footage because you've got a fifth grade 5U team that's actually playing up and playing seventh grade teams and handling themselves.
Yeah, we believe in overload. When we put this group together, we really picked parents first and then the kids, and we've been together for 3 years now. And basically, our philosophy is big picture stuff. We don't care if we win tournaments. We don't want to go out and beat people. We don't just roll the ball out. We train 2 nights a week, and then we play up at least 1 to 2 years in all the tournaments, and we hope to go 500. That way, when they do get older and play kids their own age, the game will seem slower.
Sure.
And, they'll have an advantage. So, it's tough for them getting their butts beat every weekend, but quite frankly, we hold our own with people, and it's starting to pay off now that they mature.
I was amazed as, we're showing some of the footage here of both of these squads. The 7th grade squad, just the one thing, and I said it to you before we even did this interview, was the fact that I'm just so amazed you can get 5th graders to take the ball to the hole like they do and under control and able to do that. It's just incredible.
I was handed skilled kids. I mean, there's no doubt these kids could play, and, we just kind of threw some structure at them. A lot of people do not run anything. We're working on basketball IQ and basketball toughness, so, when they do get old enough, they can, go play for elite programs and play right away because they'll have the knowledge and the skill set to do that.
Now I've got to ask you because, one of the reasons I'm doing the show is because, there's just so many kids that aren't doing anything during the summer and want to get involved in programs. And I mean, even if they're not at the ability level of, what you're putting together here, this is more specialized with what you're doing. But, getting the word out to some programs, get all these kids out there and doing stuff.
It's critical. I mean, you know, people that get bored get in trouble, and there's just way too much. You know, I was talking with a parent earlier, and you and I have had this conversation. The game has changed because the kids have more to do now. All we did was play basketball, get in a little trouble here and there, and now these kids, you know, there's just a litany of things to do. So it's tough to keep them occupied. But this group would go 7 nights a week if they had to, and their parents would have them here. I mean, they're probably all from at least 45 minutes away.
Wow.
So it's a nice sign of dedication from mom and dad.
How do you teach the kids the commitment? How do you instill in them the commitment that it's going to take to get them to the next level in basketball?
I think their parents did that. You know, like I said,
nice.
I've coached, you know, Nicole and I were varsity coaches for 17 years in multiple sports, and I think typically if you get the right group of parents, the kids will follow. And I look at these parents, and they're just, you know, it's like one big family. You know, we have our little tiffles and this and that, but they know a lot of them are former athletes, and they know what it takes. So you don't have to be a former athlete to have a good kid, but I think it's more on the kids and the parents. I'm just kind of the guy, you know, holding it together, you know, from behind the scenes. Ultimately, I'd like to, you know, watch them do things themselves. Hopefully in a couple of years when we go to these tournaments, they'll be able to, you know, handle doing things on their own, and I'll just sub people in and out and sit there and not get stressed out.
I'm going to see you in the NBA someday sitting on the bench, you think?
Everybody needs a water boy.
There you go, there you go. Hey, when we come back, we're going to keep talking here with Brad. He's got a phenomenal job they're doing out at Clay High School right now, and we're kind of documenting it for you and getting some shots of the old Clay Stadium and what it looks like right now. And if you know, I'm just so partial to East Toledo and Oregon, and I love these people out here, and they've backed me in what we're doing here, and getting the word out about the good things that are happening, and Brad's going to be a part of that, and we'll be right back.
Do you ever drive around the neighborhoods just to look at the houses? I like spotting the ones that have been around the longest because they remind me of the amazing legacy I'm part of. Hi, I'm Marty Sutter, president of Genoa Bank. For over 110 years, our bank has helped families buy and build their homes, and all that time, one thing hasn't changed. At Genoa Bank, we believe that when we put the mortgage needs first, the rest takes care of itself. Genoa Bank, taking your banking needs personally.
Well, folks, we're sitting here with a good friend of mine, Mr. Dave McWinnie. How are you, sir?
Doing great.
You've, over the years, we've had the pleasure of watching you, and I got to be honest with you. My first few meetings with you, you know, I was a hardcore Cardinal Stritch fan, and I didn't like you at all.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But seriously, you've come through the ranks, and one of the perennial favorites in the TAC for basketball. But the one thing, you said this to me a long time ago, and that's why you're part of the show, is, you know, I like the fact that all through the week, I got kids coming in here that want to just play a little basketball, that there's a commitment there, that these kids, you know, you open the doors and you let them do their thing, and I just that is exactly how I've always thought. If I were ever coaching, I'd probably be doing the same thing, and congratulations on that.
Yeah, we've worked hard at it. We've got a bunch of kids that love the game, and it's been fun building the program and being part of it.
And not to mention, I know you've got all of your kids involved in your camps and everything, but you kind of went outside with your camp, and you've brought in some pretty national recognition to your camp, and it's really going to make it big.
Yeah, we have Jason Otter coming in. He's,
guy.
In my opinion, the best trainer in the world. He does a phenomenal job, has developed over 1,000 Division I college basketball players, more than anybody around, and I've watched him for the last 4 years and have gotten to know how he trains, his philosophy, and he pushes kids incredibly hard, but it's just a phenomenal camp.
Well, the one thing that, you know, I get all the little inserts on, you know, Facebook and stuff about it, but the one thing that I've noticed about his camps is, number one, he can take it, it's a confidence factor. It really works on getting the confidence. That's what makes the game.
Yeah, that's what he talks about, that of you need to be confident, and that comes through preparation. You know, and it's what I love about it is the kids that go there, they know they're getting the best instruction. They see the things that he does and how they work.
Right.
And he's got a following. My son actually just got back from a camp in Cincinnati. We went down and traveled, and he's going to be, when he comes here, my son will go to that. but when we went to Cincinnati, he was working out next to a girl from Texas, a Division I player from Kentucky. There was a kid from Louisiana, Virginia, Wisconsin. I mean, people literally are traveling from all over the country, like 14-hour drives, 20-hour drives to go work out with him. And in Toledo, we're bringing this here. Awesome. And what's cool is a lot of people don't understand exactly what he is or how good he is around here locally. I mean, he's building a name, but I don't think people quite understand what we're bringing to Toledo, and that's really why I wanted to come on with you and just share that, and hope we're doing this. It's great for Toledo Christian. We get a handful of kids that come to Point Guard Elite and Junior Point Guard Elite, which is really 4th grade through 12th. Can go to one of those camps, but it's not going to be filled with Toledo Christian kids. It's really for your basketball junkies. We're going to have a handful, but there's going to be kids from all over the country, and there's a number of kids from some of the programs around, but I know for a basketball family, this is just a phenomenal opportunity. We want our kids to realize they can do more than what they think they can.
Well, that has always been, one of the things. I hope we can come and do some of your games this year. I'm crossing my fingers. It's just a pleasure watching you coach and watch, everything that's going on. But it's the person that you just didn't think was going to be that guy is that guy with the Toledo Christian kids. You've been able to take guys that, you've got your big men, and you've got your people, and your named players that are supposed to do things, but you also got those kids that, man, they just come off the bench and they're able to do. You probably got the strongest bench in this area, in the TAC, maybe even better than that. You've come into the NBC and where we do our games and played, and you've got the strongest bench, and that's a real good thing for what you're able to do. Yeah, I think some of that comes, we have a lot of great families, so we get kids that don't give up. You see a lot of kids that give up on sports too early. Right. I look at some of the kids in other schools and think that kid's a really nice 8th grader, and then by the time they're a sophomore, they're not playing anymore. Right. And but I think some of that comes from the parent support we get here, is that parents value what we do, and you know what, being the 8th man or 7th man on a team, there's a lot of value there, and getting money time, and it is the lessons you get out of basketball hopefully are much more than the playing time or the fun. It's the camaraderie, it's the working together, all those things, and we've tried to build that the right way, and I think we've been rewarded with a lot of great families and great kids. Let me ask you this: it's gotten to a point now where kids are like specializing in sports, because basically it's 365 days. Sure. Is that something? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's funny because you hear people that talk, and I encourage our kids, most of our kids, to play multi-sports. If you get somebody who absolutely loves basketball, we had a first-team All-State kid a couple years ago, Eric Sellier. Yep. He was the very, very rare exception to the rule that I would say you need to be a one-sport kid, but he got college paid for, and I don't think he was a one-sport kid until high school, maybe even upper high school. Kids need to play multiple sports when they're young, and there is a point with basketball where the specialization, you may have to put more eggs in your basket when you get to be 16, 17 years old, but certainly when you're 9, 10, 11, in those developmental years, I think if you go too much into one thing, you open yourself up for injury and burnout and all those things that go with it. There comes a point where kids make a decision and they see, hey, I could have a $100,000 scholarship or more than that, and you get within that finish line and you realize you actually have the talent. And Eric Sellier, I wouldn't blame for that, but we've only had a couple of those, maybe 2 in 15 years, that I would say that was the best decision. Ethan Michael. Yeah, Ethan would be the other one. Yeah. So I see he's doing quite well in the Air Force. Yeah, he's doing well. He's out now, but he's making a great living and serving his time with the Air Force, and absolutely loves his job and is married, doing phenomenal. Well, if he gets back to Toledo, Ethan, I want you on one of my Fed teams. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be the enforcer. I'm not the enforcer anymore. Yeah. But it's just, it's a true calling for you. And when that door opens and you got a bunch of kids that just want to come in here and play, I just thumbs up that all the way around. And you got a good group, and I thank you for spending some time with me, buddy. Thanks for having us. Tell us again when this is, because I know you don't have a lot of openings. Yeah, the Jason Otter Camp, July 22nd through 25th. I think as of right now, there's maybe 5 or 6 openings for the 7th through 12th graders, and I think 4th through 7th, or 8th through 12th, 4th through 7th, maybe it was at 10 to 12 openings left. So if you want to get in quickly. And you can check that out at
otterbasketballtraining.com.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you for spending some time with us. Can't wait to see you yelling when you get on the basketball court.
Yeah, absolutely. It never stops. So.
Is your roof past its peak? It's not always this easy to tell. From rooftops to foundations, Seagate is a trusted A-plus BBB accredited business and a Platinum Preferred contractor. As a Platinum Preferred contractor, we offer one of the country's best roofing warranties, the Owens Corning True Protection 50-year warranty. That's material and labor. We've earned your trust for over 30 years, Toledo. Call Seagate now.
244 L-E-A-K, Seagate.
Welcome back. Toledo Sports Network is proud to bring you sports talk each and every Saturday night here at 8:30. We're going to talk to all the people that are making things happen to get the kids away from the Xboxes and sitting inside in the ice-cold air conditioning and go out and sweat a little. That's basically what it's all about. And, you know, during summertime, we have to make sure we keep this airtime. So we've got all these neat little shows, boating shows, home show, golf show. And then the end of August, all heck breaks loose and we go back to football. And hopefully we're going to have you doing some MCing for us there.
I'd like that.
We'll put you in a suit and tie, and we'll put him in a big yellow suit, and you can do your Howard Cosell.
What's a tie?
Oh, geez, I keep forgetting. He's a working man. He's got those working man hands. And
right.
Brad, you guys have put together such a great community business with Mommy Turf. I mean, whether it's landscaping. Oh, by the way, I do have a lot of landscaping work for you to do at my house. We just need some rain. It ain't going to matter until we get rain.
We need rain. You're right.
We need rain. But the big thing that you guys have been doing is putting in these artificial turf at high schools. I mean, you could right now probably list at least 10 NFL teams you're probably working with, college teams, oh my goodness. And then not to mention what you've done in this city with Whitmer, with Defiance, Napoleon, and what you're right now doing with Clay High School and turning that into, I just cannot wait to see what it looks like.
It's a fun business. It's, you know, the market is very competitive, so it goes all year. A lot of these jobs we're doing this year, we started working on 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, I think our community projects are the best ones. I mean, we have done the last 4 Super Bowl surfaces, but, you know, you get into Defiance, Napoleon, Oregon, St. Francis, Lake. I mean, I'm Ottawa Hills, Perrysburg, Whitmer, and I'm probably leaving somebody out there, Woodward, Scott. You know, just a lot of great people you meet. And having coached for so many years, usually everybody's ready to run you out of town. But now we're on the good side of things. So, you know, the field's done, everybody's happy. We go to games, you know, you're the field guy. And but we have a great,
shake your hand.
Yeah, it's good. So we got a great group of guys, and it's a neat market.
Well, you know, I have to ask because, you know, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I know that you guys have sacrificed a lot here for the Oregon project, and you're donating a ton to this project just to make sure it gets done.
Right, yeah, it's something PJ and I wanted, we said 6 years ago we wanted to try to do something for both Clay and Northwood, you know, to try to help out the local. Obviously, we have tight affiliations with both, and, you know, we felt it was important to try to do that, and then the opportunity came up for Clay, and it's going to be a neat surface. We're really kind of replicating the Oregon Ducks field with the coloration.
Oh, neat. Very cool.
So you'll have the different colored greens and the bright yellow, you know, lettering in the end zones and the logo at midfield. So I would think by probably July 4th they'll have their field if the weather holds up.
Oh, very nice.
Because obviously we haven't had rain, and that's our nemesis, so we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
right
we've
now.
been getting a lot of footage for you here, and the one thing, what do you think the mindset's going to be for the kids in Oregon that? And this is, and I don't want to say it's a problem, but it's come up. You know, you get the star athletes, the kids that do work so super hard and everything, and wind up going to the private schools. Is this a way to maybe get these kids to make a decision to stay maybe in the Oregon schools because of the facilities they're going to have now?
It's clearly,
I mean, that's what we're looking for, right?
Sure. I mean, it's an arms race. You know, Clay used to be, you know, a power just like Stritch used to be. I mean, you know, and the game has changed, and I've been hit with that. My daughter's at a parochial school, and, you know, I've been asked that, and club sports are doing that. Oregon's a wonderful school district.
Right.
I mean, they've been phenomenal with my kids. I wouldn't have done it any other way. But, you know, it's who you hang out with in the club season. You have that echelon of kids that play all year, and not a lot of people want to do that. And I get that. I think that's getting out of hand, too. But that's who you levitate towards when you go to make those school decisions. I don't hear anybody saying, well, I don't like Clay's gym, or I don't like, you know, Fremont Ross's running track or whatever. It's, you know, we hung around with these parents and these kids for the last 3 years at Toledo Volleyball Club. You know, we're all going to go somewhere and play together. So, you know, I've been pinned down with that, and that would be my response. Having coached club and having kids playing 3 club sports apiece, that's my take on that one. But we clearly wanted to help Oregon retain their kids.
And you were actually able to, because they had already put in a new surface track that was there, you didn't touch this track. You were able to do everything around this, you know, build bridges over it so you didn't hurt it. And with what's going to happen with this, I think it's just going to get to a point where everybody's going to have the turf. Do you think? Well, you hope. I mean,
sure. This is our busiest year yet. You know, our group has 7 NFL jobs this year, and we have 13 high schools we're doing, so that's a total of 20 for us. So that exceeds our best year of 13. And typically in this business, the vendors that are in it, you usually see them put in between 10 and 20 fields. So we've hit our limit, and we don't want to do any more than that, because you know what happens, you get too busy, the quality control.
Amen. Yeah, you got a lot of guys working on this project.
Yeah, there were probably 25 of we had our mechanics at Clay. I think our secretary might have been running around on an excavator today too, but it's kind of an all hands on deck. We want Clay to have their field for the start of July, so Coach Lee can, and the soccer folks and everybody else, the band, can get out on the field and get used to it.
And it'll all be multi-purpose at that point.
Absolutely, it's a multi-purpose field, and it's the big thing is the player safety.
Right.
You know, it looks great, this, that, you know, you're at the head of the arms race, but in the end we want it to be the safest possible surface for the kids.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, Brad, you know, you're a dear friend of mine, and we've been through a whole heck of a lot throughout the years, and I'm sure there's more to come. I'm sure there's more to come, and I thank you for spending some time with us.
Thanks.
I get to spend the week with him here over at Clay, flying a little drone around and everything, but that's nothing compared to what they're doing here. But we're going to wrap this one up. Don't forget, if you have a story that you'd like us to talk about here, spotlighting kids, that's what it's all about. To be honest, I'm not making a penny doing this show. I don't care. This is something I've wanted to do. I've got Mick Gonzalez coming on board, Steve Taylor, and some other guys that are going to be doing some great stories about some kids and developmental disability kids that are going to be coming up too. So we just want to kind of get the whole gamut out there for you. And we're going to do this every Saturday night, and we'll have it on Toledo Sports Network, on the Facebook site, and on the other one. And Brad's face will be on there. And it might break a little.
That's scary.
I had to get you back because you cut my head wide open. So I just, you know, I'm going to remember that till the day.
Can you make me look thinner? Can we do that?
Yeah, go on my diet. It worked, trust me.
Good.
It worked. We're going to wrap up now. You know, I figured we'd let the stars kind of end the show for us here. You know, your boys, the 5U boys, they played the 7th grade 7U boys tonight, played well. And they wanted to say a few words and talk about how great a coach you are. Yeah, and all of that good stuff. Folks, thanks a lot. Watch the real stars. They're coming right up.
Each hole on the course is a destination with no rest in between. And the distance from one hole to the next seems to get longer the closer you get to that final flag. Then, at the 18th hole, you remember why you took the journey, because validation waits for you there. The LPGA Marathon Classic, July 11th through the 17th. Get 2-for-1 weekly grounds tickets with free parking at area Kroger stores. The Marathon Classic, where it's at.
Well, we talked to Brad, and you know, Brad is a dear friend of mine, and I just give him such kudos for living the dream and putting this all together and bringing the kids in, and it's just so cool. And this is the Maumee Bay Turf 11U team. Guys, you guys played good today. What do you think of this squad?
We worked together very well.
And it's really hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about being able to play basketball all summer and work on your skills?
We've been playing a long time.
Do you play just about every day?
Not every day.
I bet you don't like the Xbox, right?
No, not like
I love this kid right there. I love this kid. Guys, what do you think are some of the great things you're learning here in basketball? Now, you guys are fifth graders, right? Yeah. You're all fifth graders, and you just played a seventh grade team, and that's awesome. What's the one thing you're learning most?
How to make a good basketball IQ and be a good basketball player.
Fantastic. And I saw you out there spinning that ball around real well. What's the one thing you try to do for all your teammates?
Score.
I love it. You love to score, and you play really good defense, too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Guys, what are your aspirations? Y'all want to play college basketball?
Yes.
Yes. You're going to be a college basketball player. What about you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little Morrison. Of course he's going to be playing basketball. You were hitting the boards real hard tonight. Who in the NBA or in college is like your idol? You got to have that.
I have one. I have a lot.
You have a lot? Is it Draymond Green?
Yeah, Draymond.
He's a good basketball player. Now, do you guys, with this program, you got to go to bed early at night, right, and get the right foods and do the right things because you're very competitive. You're what's known as a team, right?
Yes.
Yes. What do you guys think of Coach Morrison? Has he done a good job for you?
Yes.
I asked the Morrison on that. What do you want to say?
I have no comment on that.
Oh, but he works you hard, doesn't he?
Yes, it does. It's mainly Melvin now.
Oh, it's Melvin is the hard guy here. So you get to play. Do you guys play like every week?
Well, we practice 2 days a week, and if Coach Brad can get us in a tournament on the weekend, then we go to that too.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you guys are a wonderful basketball team, and it's just so nice to see a bunch of kids out here, and you're going to be lifelong friends. You realize that. You'll be lifelong friends and love this game of basketball. This is what pure basketball is all about, seeing you guys out there. You all did a really good job today. I know you're all tired. You guys want to go do your thing now. Hey, thank you for spending some time with us. Anything else anybody wants to say? Open mic.
Hopefully, we'll be able to go to the same high school.
Wow, that would be unbelievable, huh? Uh-oh.
I like cheesecake.
Oh, he likes cheesecake. And you got something to say? Go for it.
Central Catholic.
You like Central Catholic. That's a great school, and that's a great basketball school. Guys, thank you very much. I'm going to come watch you, and hopefully we'll be doing play-by-play when you guys get into high school for some of your games, and I can say, I remember this Thursday night, and I saw you guys in 5th grade playing basketball. Thanks for spending some time with us. Good job, man. Cool.